Hello, Gorals, and welcome to Six Bacons. I've been gone for a while. I didn't finish Vlogmas, and she did, so technically, she beat me. And I'll give her credit where it's due. But real life happened, and, as far as I'm concerned, real life is way more important than making videos about a morbidly obese girl. It's a close race, I'll give it that, but it is slightly more important for me to take care of my actual life. But I did it, and now I'm back, and I figured, let's not go back into Vlogmas, let's not delve back into that horrible pit, and instead, let's just go ahead and get started with these dumb Q&As she's been doing. I'll admit I have kind of watched these already. Not really. They've been on in a room that I was also in, but I'm not paying attention, partially because I know half of these are lies, and also partially because I planned on doing this with you. So here I am. So let's go ahead and get this started with part 1, which is titled Feeder Allegations, Living Life at 600 Pounds, and Resenting Alexis.
Hey guys, welcome to a new video. So this is part 1 of a 4-part series where I answer 100 of your questions, and
Sure.
I think it's questions I've never answered before. But who knows? I've been on YouTube for 11 years, so I don't really remember what I've shared. So
Yeah, it's a lot of lies to keep straight.
promised you guys that I would upload every other day, and I'm gonna be super busy for the next 10 days or so, and I'm not
Because Emily's going to be there, is what she's going to be doing for the next 10 days. So she's going to be chained to a table eating for the next week and a half.
going to be able to have time to edit my videos. I will still be
As opposed to now, when she spends countless hours editing her videos.
filming though. So I am pre-recording in this moment. So I figured the best way to do that, to continue my schedule and to give you guys content, is to create this 4-part series. So since there are 100 questions,
Except that you didn't create it. Like, people sent them to you. Once again, you farmed out the harder part, which is coming up with things to talk about.
it is 25 questions per part. So let's get into the first one. So I just want to preface this that I got all of these questions on random social media platforms where I was like, you guys, I'm doing a Q&A on YouTube. Send me in your questions.
So just in case you see a question that you don't believe that someone sent her because she wrote it herself, she can just say that, oh, it must be on one of the platforms where you didn't see it.
All right, so the first one is, who are your top 5 artists on Spotify Wrapped this year?
Nobody
Billie
cares.
Eilish was my number 1, which is not surprising. Second is Banks, also not surprising. Third is a band called Mansion Air, love them. Fourth, Montel Fish, love
Who?
him. His music is so good. The fifth one I'm a little shocked by. It's The Weeknd. How often do you recommend that I wash my hair? So I am no hair doctor over here.
These can't be real questions. Also, she said hair doctor. Don't think I'm going to let that go. This is so stupid. Like, if these are real questions, and you are the person who asked this question, you're as dumb as she is, because this is nothing. Like, who are your favorite Spotify artists? Nobody cares. Nobody cares about that. Why are you 600 pounds? Where is your cat? Why do all of your girlfriends break up with you? Why do you always have another girlfriend on deck when one breaks up with you? Why do you have internet girlfriends only? Like, there's questions right there. Those are the real questions that people would ask her. How's grandma's recipe? Like, that's a real question. Something for the OG Amber fans. How are the cucumber boats? Anything. What are Eric and Ricky up to? These are real questions that people would be interested in.
But I do know that every hair is different, so I really don't know what to tell you. But I have noticed that the healthiest hair is if you wash it just a couple times a week. Speaking of hair, I do get this question a lot. Would you ever cut your hair into a bob? Absolutely not. That is not my style.
She should do it. Because it would look terrible, but she should do it.
I don't think it would look good on me. It looks good on other people, but that is not my thing.
Remember when she said that girls look bad when they have shorter hair and rounder faces, which she said right in front of Becky, who had short hair and a rounder face?
I love my hair long. That is how I've always loved it. In my early 20s, I did chop it all off. If I can find some photos, I'll post them here. But my hair was down to my butt. I went into the salon, literally just wanting a hair trim, and I left with my hair to my shoulders. And I cried. Yes, I did. It was the biggest mistake. I will never do it again.
MySpace angle emo Lynn.
Have you ever been to Disneyland? I have. I've been twice.
Why would... Why would someone ask that?
Both times I went, I was 17. So if you guys remember me sharing, my foster mom did pass away recently, and it was actually that foster mom that made that dream come true for me. I know this is going off on something completely different, but a lot of people have heard me talk a lot of bad things about foster care because I do have a lot of bad experiences in foster care. I will not deny that.
To be fair, that is probably true. She probably did have some pretty bad experiences. She also probably created a lot of those bad experiences.
But there are some positives as well, and that is one of them. Are
Sorry for this weird hiccup here. I had to move the microphone.
you going to continue sharing fan art? No, not in that way, because it was just something I wanted to add
Because people caught on to it being fake.
as a part of Vlogmas that I thought was really fun.
And the ones that weren't fake were sent by trolls who then exposed the fact that they sent them to you as a troll after you thought they were genuine.
And I enjoyed doing it. Do you have any New Year's resolutions? Honestly, normally I have a whole list of resolutions and goals and things I want to succeed at.
Gotta write something in those journals.
And I never follow through with any of them.
Yeah,
so
no
I
kidding.
think it's just really easy and manageable if I sit here and say, I just want to improve as a person, whether that's mentally, physically, spiritually. Like, I am very into the universe, and I believe that
Since when?
the universe and me are connected. I know that sounds weird to some people, but that's okay. Like, I really just want to be.
Oh man, remember when I said that I really hope we start to get metaphysical, Lynn? I said that when the channel first started, and now here we are. My dreams have come true. I don't believe for a second that she saw my video and decided to run with this, but either way, I wanted it and it's happening, so I'm on board.
Be just a better person in general, and I know I can start that anytime, and I have definitely improved over the years, but 2025 I really do want
Countdown to her starting to wear crystals. I'm calling it now. We're gonna get Crystal Lynn.
to focus more on the therapy aspect and improving my health aspect, and not really set out flat out goals, more so just every day, even if it's just me being 1% better than I was the day before.
Yeah, make a goal that's nebulous and indefinable so that you can always say you met it, because it's not a metric that can be measured in any real way. Great plan.
Favorite and least favorite part of Vlogmas this year. So easily my least favorite was the beginning. It was highly saturated
Your cat running away?
in the fact that I was going through a lot of mental health and heartbreak because I was missing Rarity while also being attacked because I was neglectful in a situation where it was never my intent. Accidentally leaving that door open literally altered my life in the worst way possible. And not only was I being attacked for a mistake that literally broke me and shattered me, I was being told that I was...
The cat getting out of the door is a genuine mistake and is not what people were attacking you for. People were attacking you for having your cat get out, and then that's pretty much it. You didn't go out there and look. You didn't run out immediately and try and find her. You made some posters. You put them up, which, fine. And even then, you didn't do it. Emily did it. That's the problem. Yes, people's animals run out the door when it opens. That happens. That's a real, genuine accident. That's not the problem people had. And that is what you always do. You create some other thing and say that's what people are mad at you for. People are mad at you because you're fat. Okay, great, sure, I guess that's it, and not, the truth of people being mad at you because of all the things you've shown them over the years.
lying about the situation, which I wasn't. And I was also being told that a cat that was found deceased was Rarity.
It was.
Which definitely was not the case either. So it was a lot at once while already going through mental health problems. But I noticed once I handled the Rarity situation privately, instead of broadcasting every single 2 seconds, if there's...
The way you handled it was just by stopping looking at all. Great. Great resolution to the problem.
an update or not, I noticed the backlash and the rumors lessened, and that definitely helped with my mental health and my heartbreak, to be honest. I would say the best part of Vlogmas was the fact that I completed it, and instead of letting my depression stop me from decorating for Christmas like it did last year, I said, screw that. We're gonna decorate for Christmas because I feel like that'll actually help my mood, and it genuinely did. Have you ever had a boyfriend before? Yes, I've had multiple boyfriends, but it was all when I was a teenager.
Multiple boyfriends at the same time in the movie theater. Again, that's for my OGs.
And a kid, never as an adult. No, no, no. Have you ever considered digital planning? No, never, because I really love.
These can't be real. Either these can't be real questions, or she has way more like genuine viewers who aren't just haters than I think. Like, I feel like most of the people watching her are like us. Like, people who are going to watch a reaction channel who is not fond of her. But maybe not, man. If she's really getting these questions that are like, why do you wash your hair? What eye makeup do you use? Like, maybe there's more dumb people than I thought.
Love physical planners. I love physically writing. For the longest, I was reading so many novels and I was reading like the physical books. And then people were like, you should try a Kindle, you should try a Kindle. So then in my brain, I was like, you know what?
No, you should try a library, you idiot. Because you buy all these books, you allegedly read them once, and then what? You just have them. Or you give them away. You did give a lot of books to Goodwill. Like, just go to the library.
Let me try a Kindle, because there's like this cute little small Kindle that I ended up buying. I was like, it's so adorable. And I realized it's just not for me. I feel like some things for me, I just can't do technology based. That's reading and also
like make a video.
So, you know, planning. Those are things that I just enjoy doing, like physically with a book, with a pen, etc., etc.
The only thing she can do physically.
Do you resent Alexis for bringing up the crumble cookie video? Honestly, no. It's really not that big of a deal to me. I'm an adult. I'm a sexual human being.
Gross.
I'm very sex positive.
Awful.
Not a prude. Pretty open book. So I don't really care, actually. What I care about is people behind my back being creepy and sending it to reaction channels. Now that's weird. And I'm very glad that Alexis never did that.
For the record, I have not seen that and would never.
What moment in the last couple of years made you grow the most as a person? Living alone.
I'd say eating has made you grow the most as a person.
Absolutely. The first time I ever lived alone was when I was 32. And I'm now 34. I'm telling you, I genuinely believed in my soul for a majority of my life.
Didn't she live alone for a second in Florida? I thought she did. I thought she had that place by herself right before she and Destiny got a place together. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. It's a lot to keep track of. You let me know in the comments.
Life that I had to live with someone, that's the only way I was going to be happy, because I was always scared to be alone. But you guys, I'm telling you, I thrive when I live by myself. I absolutely love it. And it's
only because like DoorDash and Instacart exists. That's the only reason you can live by yourself. Without that, you would not be able to. If you were still in Kentucky, and not like Lexington, but where she was before that, where there was no Uber Eats, there was no DoorDash, you would absolutely not be able to live by yourself. You'd be getting Meals on Wheels.
Help me grow as a person 100%. If you could go back and never have made YouTube videos, would you? No. I absolutely would have still done YouTube.
Yeah, of course not. What else could she possibly do for money?
Probably would have just done it differently. I know the YouTube game. I know what people want, but I also know that there are
Then why aren't you giving it to anybody?
things I have said and done online that I would have never done, because I now, as a 34-year-old woman, I have learned from those things and learned from my mistakes. Do you plan on seeing Wicked? I have never seen like the original Wicked, but
who cares?
With the clips I've seen of the new one, it genuinely looks pretty interesting. So yes, I do plan on watching it. What is the last thing you ate? I had Buffalo Wild Wings and I got boneless chicken. The sauce I got on there was Asian Zing. I really like their boneless chicken because it's dry. And even the pieces of chicken that I normally would never
She's a dry girl.
go for, which are like kind of like the bigger pieces, they're still dry. I'm like, okay, pop off. And
Except that during Vlogmas, in one of the ones I didn't do, she eats those Taco Bell nuggets, which are, you guessed it, giant chunks of chicken.
I've never once seen like a weird piece of chicken. So if you're weird about chicken, but you enjoy like a good boneless wing, I highly recommend Buffalo Wild Wings. And I also got potato wedges from there. What was the real reason you went back to Oklahoma and didn't stay in Wisconsin? Because I have a whole ass apartment. I have a whole life here. I love my apartment. I love living alone. I do believe that Tommy...
What exactly comprises this life you have in Oklahoma? Bingo. Well, Buffalo Wild Wings, she's got that. She does her laundry. Let's see. She goes to her grandma's house. I think that's about it.
As a person is my home, but in a responsible way, I belong here right now. So that is why we're currently in a long distance relationship, but I do see us moving in together in the future. How did you even hold that snake? Because it honestly looked so terrifying. That's what my mom said, but I love snakes. I've always loved snakes. I will say it was exhilarating because it is a huge snake. It is by far the biggest snake I have ever held in my life.
That wasn't bigger than you.
But I wasn't scared. I don't know. Did you really?
Because it was a petting zoo. Do you think they brought, like, a viper for people to hold, you moron? Like, of course you weren't scared. These are professional people who tour with a petting zoo. There's nothing to be scared of. Also, if it was like a boa constrictor, it ain't getting around you. Don't worry about it.
You think that Jordy was stalking you? No, absolutely not. I never once thought that. Was there a particular reason you stopped sharing your weight? So as you guys know, I have done Ozempic/semaglutide twice. The first time I did it, when I stopped, I gained so much weight so freaking fast. I had a weird
Well, yeah, you stopped doing it.
feeling it was going to happen again, and I tried really hard not to let it happen, but sadly I didn't try hard enough. It is very common that once you stop taking it, you gain your weight back. So normally
Yeah, guys, it's very common when you stop taking a drug that does a thing. It stops doing that thing when you stop taking it. Yeah, no kidding.
I wouldn't have cared to share that because I've always shared that. But then
Which, if she did take Ozempic and not just eat through it like she always does, if she took Ozempic and it worked for her, she could never stop taking it because that's what's going to happen. It makes you not want to eat. So when you stop taking it, you're going to want to eat. And we know that Big is going to give in to that impulse, and then she's just going to be right back where she started, if not worse.
all of a sudden, all of these rumors about my girlfriend were happening that were not true because that is not the way our relationship is. I knew that if I came on here and said, I'm gaining weight because that's how the cookie crumbles, no pun intended, people would automatically blame her when ultimately it was my doing.
A pun is when you replace a word with another word to make a joke. People use that phrase wrong all the time. Say no pun intended when it wasn't a pun in the first place.
And it's the pattern that I've had my whole life since I was literally like 10 years old when I had my first diet. It was just easier for me not to share those things anymore. I want to protect and cherish the people in my life that I care about. The rumors about Tommy are not true.
They are.
Are you excited or nervous to try semaglutide again? I'm definitely both excited and nervous, and I will definitely share more of that as I talk more about my journey. Will you ever admit you are actually 600 pounds?
Nope.
I am telling you, human to human, face to face, like I know you're not here, but I'm acting as if you are. If I was 600 pounds, I would not be able to move. I'm saying that.
You were 572 at least confirmed. You really think those remaining 28 pounds would have been the difference maker between being completely immobile or not? Because I don't.
Based on like knowing how I feel now at the weight that I am, if I was 600 pounds, I would not be able to fit in my mother's car, let alone go and do things and walk around stores and go to bingo. It would not be happening.
That is not true.
Can you show your watch time on TikTok and Instagram? Sure. When someone asked this question, I screenshotted it just so I could remember because my memory is shit. I don't really go on TikTok and Instagram.
Yet a new thing that she blames on, I would guess her BPD is her bad memory. So she can just say she didn't remember something when she's just lying about it.
As you can see, it does show on Friday that I was on TikTok for a bit more than usual. It's because I was gathering these questions.
Great. Amazing.
What has been the hardest part to overcome with having BPD? A lot. And I don't know if I've actually overcome any of it. So I'm kind of going to rewrite the question and ask it as if like, what's the hardest part about having BPD? It's the fact that
well, that's a very different question, but okay.
You cannot regulate your emotions. Sometimes it feels physically impossible. Like,
yeah, it's not my fault. Nothing's ever my fault because I have BPD.
During a BPD episode, which are actually sometimes called BPD tantrums, and that's not like in a rude way or whatever. It sounds rude because it's like a tantrum, like calm down now. Like I'm not throwing a tantrum, but that is just what.
Like in that video where you and Becky were answering questions and she said that you basically fly into a... Oh, no, actually, I take it back. I was wrong. I remembered it wrong. Amberlynn admitted that she like flies into a rage when Becky wouldn't get her whatever food she wanted for her binge. Tantrum feels pretty accurate.
What it's called. So during those episodes, my rational self is still in here. She is like screaming at me, Amberlynn, stop. Amberlynn, calm down. Amberlynn, it's gonna be okay. Regulating those emotions and calming down, it literally feels like someone is telling you, you have to travel outside into space and I want you to carry the world on your shoulders. That's not possible. It truly feels
You could hold most of it.
impossible to regulate your emotions. And I'm fully aware that DBT therapy can help with that. So another answer I have is having BPD makes everything feel more extreme than the average. Like the average person, they would say, yeah, I feel happy. Well, when we're happy, people with BPD, it feels euphoric. A regular person would feel angry. Us, we feel burning rage. Regular person feels sad. We literally feel like we're mourning the death of someone we have loved our entire lives. Everything feels so...
So when you guys come at me about Rarity, just know that I'm mourning her more than anyone has ever mourned anyone ever.
strong, and like we're sensitive to like everything. So our moods switch really quickly. Like a lot of people get bipolar
You don't do anything really quickly.
and borderline personality disorder mixed up because we both have mood shifts.
Both.
So people with bipolar, their moods will change on days or weeks basis, while people with BPD like me, our moods...
Some people might have phrased that as daily or weekly basis. Someone who claims to read all the time. By the way, everybody, remember that.
will change multiple times a day, sometimes even multiple times an hour. It's exhausting for us, and I'm sure it's very exhausting for the people around us as well. Would you be able to be in a sexless relationship? No, 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 no.
You've done it at least twice. I mean, there was nothing happening with Crystal, for sure. Which is probably for the best, because I mean, Crystal might be, you know, a little slow. Maybe, perhaps. So maybe it's best that nothing happened there. And you admitted that nothing happened with Becky.
This girly pop has done that before, and she will never do it again.
All right, fair enough.
When I'm with the right one, I
I spoke too soon. All right, she admitted to it. My bad.
am like a sex machine.
Gross.
What am I saying right now? What is a rumor about you that is 100% not true? Girl, do you have all day? Because I have a whole list. But for the sake of
She probably does have a literal list in one of her journals of things that she has claimed are lies.
video purposes and time crunches, there is a few in particular that I would love to mention, but these are things that I promised myself I would never speak about again online. So we're gonna skip over those
How convenient.
and move on to something else. I'm gonna choose something that is like currently happening. Two things actually. One, it is 100% not true. I am not a feedie. I am not in a feeder relationship. That
Well, that's pretty weird because the other half of your relationship is a confirmed feeder.
is not what's happening here. Two, the fact that some people actually believe this is sick, but there are people who believe that I let Rarity out on purpose to stay in Wisconsin longer.
I don't believe that one. I'm on record as saying I don't think she did it on purpose. I think she's just that careless.
Tommy didn't want me to leave. Tommy said I am welcome there forever. Rarity is my heart, my soul, my best friend, my everything. I would have never
Tommy said I could stay here forever, so I left when my cat died. Sure, sounds true, girl.
in a million years done that. And if you know me in person, you would know that to be true. But that's what people do. They create these really disgusting rumors about me and just like hold on to them for dear life. I know nothing I say
Well, any rumor about you would have to be disgusting.
will ever change anyone's opinion, but for the sake of answering the question, there's your answer. All right, you guys, so that is part 1, and I will see you guys soon for part 2. Bye.
Gross. Okay, so that was part 1. You know what? Probably tomorrow I'll get part 2 out. She's up to part 3 in real time. I think part 4 will come out tomorrow. So I'll work on all these. I won't release them all as one super long video. I won't do that to you, but I will release them as I finish them, which should be in the next 3 days or so. So if you liked this video, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff you do when you like a YouTube video, and I will see you guys next time.